Once upon a time, in the colorful town of Seussville, there lived a young boy named Jimmy. Jimmy had big dreams and a heart full of curiosity. He loved to explore and imagine all the wonderful places he could go. One sunny morning, Jimmy woke up with excitement bubbling inside him. He knew that today was the day he would start his own adventure. With his trusty backpack slung over his shoulder and a wide grin on his face, Jimmy set off down the winding path that led out of Seussville. As Jimmy walked, he sang to himself, "Oh, the places I'll go, the people I'll meet, the sights I'll see." He imagined himself soaring through the sky like a bird, diving into the depths of the ocean like a fish, and climbing to the highest peaks like a brave explorer. But just as Jimmy was lost in his daydreams, he stumbled upon a fork in the road. One path stretched out before him, leading into a dense forest filled with mysterious shadows. The other path wound its way up a steep hill, disappearing into the clouds. Jimmy scratched his head, unsure of which way to go. He sat down on a nearby rock, feeling a little bit scared and a little bit lost. "What if I choose the wrong path?" he wondered aloud. But then Jimmy remembered the wise words of his parents. They had always told him to follow his heart and trust his instincts. With a newfound determination, Jimmy stood up and pointed to the path that led into the forest. "I may not know what lies ahead," Jimmy said to himself, "but I won't let fear hold me back. I'm going to explore this forest and see where it takes me." With a brave smile, Jimmy plunged into the shadows of the forest, his heart pounding with excitement. He pushed aside branches and jumped over fallen logs, eager to discover the secrets hidden within. As Jimmy journeyed deeper into the forest, he encountered all sorts of magical creatures. He met a mischievous squirrel who taught him how to swing from tree to tree, a wise old owl who shared stories of the forest's history, and a friendly fox who guided him through the thickest parts of the woods. With each new friend he made, Jimmy's confidence grew stronger. He realized that no matter where he went or what challenges he faced, he was never truly alone. After what felt like hours of exploring, Jimmy finally emerged from the forest, blinking in the bright sunlight. Before him stretched a vast, open meadow, carpeted with wildflowers of every color imaginable. Jimmy twirled and danced through the meadow, laughing with joy. He felt like he was on top of the world, with endless possibilities stretching out before him. But just as Jimmy was about to continue on his journey, he heard a faint cry for help coming from the edge of the meadow. Without hesitation, Jimmy raced towards the sound, his heart pounding with concern. There, lying in a tangled mess of vines, was a small creature with bright green scales and sparkling eyes. It was a dragon, trapped and unable to free itself. Jimmy's first instinct was to run away in fear. But then he remembered the kindness that had been shown to him by the creatures of the forest. With a deep breath, he approached the dragon and began to carefully untangle the vines. As he worked, Jimmy talked to the dragon, soothing its fears with his gentle words. Slowly but surely, he was able to free the dragon from its bonds. With a grateful roar, the dragon spread its wings and soared into the sky, leaving behind a trail of glittering sparks. Jimmy watched in awe, feeling a warmth spreading through his chest. "You see, Jimmy," a voice said from behind him, "the greatest adventures are the ones where we help others along the way." Jimmy turned to see the wise old owl from the forest perched on a nearby branch, its eyes twinkling with wisdom. "You may not have known where your journey would take you," the owl continued, "but by following your heart and showing kindness to others, you've already gone farther than you ever imagined." Jimmy smiled, feeling a sense of peace settle over him. He knew that no matter where his adventures took him next, he would always carry the lessons he had learned with him in his heart. And so, with a skip in his step and a song in his heart, Jimmy set off once again into the great unknown, ready to discover, the places he would go.